you may be lost because some people can dribble you. But if you come with your receipts, everybody can see it. So really, so you just have to understand how to manage people with your influencing skills. It's very, very, very important. Everybody is a boss. Guy, alpha, boss. Everybody is a boss. And you also need to get your facts right. Come with your receipts, come with your data. It helps.
Wow, that's a lot. So for yourself now, your career with how you've grown to the point of being a product lead, how many products can you say that you've developed so far?
Okay, let's count. All right, so now that you said it that way, maybe I should have prepared for this, but anyway, chill. I can't.
You don't have to give an exact figure.
Okay. I mean, so I've worked on products that are from the scratch, right? Like from the scratch, I mean from the beginning. And I've worked on products that I've worked on products that are in their growth phase. Growth phase in the sense that it's already in the market. You're basically just expanding it, or maybe the model is an ecosystem model where you're just adding more services within the products, right? So my time in industry, I've worked on QuickTeller. Today, we all know QuickTeller. QuickTeller has plenty of things. So I've done all of that. So I worked on QuickTeller while I was in the bank. I worked. Let me not use some of my products in the bank, but really, that's why it's quite difficult to say, because QuickTeller alone is a large ecosystem. Having to say, I did this, I did that. So there's quite a lot. So let me be moderate. Let's say 7.
Wow.
Yeah, to be moderate.
At what point were you not able to say that this product is successful for the ones you developed?
Sure. Okay, so, and I've worked on a field product, by the way. I'm not sure I spoke about that. I've worked on a field product. So I think two are field, actually. Okay, so when you say a product is successful, let's take it back home. Why did you even start a product in the first place? To solve a problem, right? So first things first, if the product is really not solving problem, then something is wrong. Then how do you know it's not solving problem? What's the adoption rate? There are different metrics you want to check though. What's the adoption rate? Are people taking these products off your shelf? What's its performance in the market? Are people willingly ready to exchange value for your product? So for example, you've launched this product, are they using it? That's part of adoption. Are they using it? Are they giving you money in exchange for it? And are they? You may want to measure activities. Activity like how frequently are people using it? How are you learning back from people? So again, when you are doing your user research, you have some statistics to say, this is the number of people that this problem is affecting. Now, when you now take your product to the market, that number, has it reduced? Has it basically reduced? Are people now getting better at, so for example, we have a lot of fintechs today. Some will say, financial inclusion. So they wanted, maybe there's the stat, let's say they say 40,000 people do not have, let's say 40 million people do not have a bank account. Then you develop a product to take the bank to them. After 6 months or 1 year of your product being in the market, has that number gone down? Because that's very important. You wanted to solve a problem because 40 million people had a problem. So again, has that number gone down? Is it consistently improving? Are people consistently giving you feedback to say, you've solved the problem, we need more of this, we need this, we need that. So you necessarily constantly need to be hearing from your market from time to time. So yes, I believe that there are a lot of metrics you can measure, but really it's your product solving a problem, and there are a lot more ways you can add to metrics to them to measure if it's actually successful or not.
Okay, and for the failed product, at what point will you say that this product has already failed? I know there was a process that you talked about before. So what process will you say that, okay, we got this thing wrong, and also what could you have done to make the product successful?
Okay, so would I even say the product didn't get to market at all?
Oh, okay.
So maybe I wouldn't say it's a failed product. So okay, we got to market. The older version got to market. So in that regard, there was actually a problem to be solved, right? There was a problem to be solved. The business case was right. However, again, You know, there's this saying that it takes a village to build somebody.
I can't remember.
It takes a village to raise a child or
Yeah.
something. It's the same thing with products, right? It takes a village to build a product. That is only the product manager. If the product is successful, it's only the product manager that will take the praise. It's the entire team, right? So in this case, it takes a village. So which means there's probably a project sponsor, the person you're probably working on that product for, and there's also a development team. So what had really happened in that case of the product is we wanted to roll out everything at the same time. Feature that, so for example, let's look at Amazon or Google. We wanted to mimic those kind of model for
everything that
product. Even though, yes, as a product manager, you will chip it in, oh, we can bring this out in later iteration. But the decision makers at that time were said, oh, it's very fun, it's a nice to have, let's push it. In fact, it's a must have, let's push it out. Before you know it, you overwhelm your engineering team. And this were people who were on a contract basis anyway. So like, don't kill me, can't kill me. So everybody, you know, their motivation started dropping. Is there anything I could have done? Yes, maybe, but maybe not really. I could have, another thing that I could have done better is my PRD then was 40 pages.
What?
40. If I look at my Google Drive and I see that PRD, I'm like, even me, if I'm an engineer, I'll be lost. My PRD then was 40 pages, and even though we had it mapped out on Figma and all of that, before you know it, just I said, oh, we've not catered to this screen. I will include the screen. I'll go and look for designer to cater to it. Then I will now say, developer, this screen, I didn't cater to it before. Please come back to it. The guy will do it. Then that was, you know, I was doing that all over and all over. It just tired everybody out, and we were like, no, everybody's tired. Eventually, I think the product got sold to another management so that they could take it from there. But yeah, it didn't. It was supposed to be an improved product, but it didn't see the light of day.
Wow. So how did you feel like eventually after all the work that was done?
Oh, I felt bad.
I
you know what? And I can sulk. I felt bad, but that was like 2 years ago, thereabouts.
Okay.
So I look back at those times. I learned a lot with that. I learned stakeholders management. I learned fact. So that the other time I was saying, bring your data, bring your facts.
Yeah.
That was when I now know that it's very important that there are some people you can't change their mind with emotion or say self-vision to them. No. Until you bring concrete facts and data, and that's when they're just very logical, which is fine, really. They're just very logical. They want to see things as they are. So I would have done better to say, oh, when Coca-Cola started, this is where they started from then. See, so why don't we explore this kind of situation where let's just deliver the minimum products to people. We'll start, see, I promise you, we won't stop working. We'll add this in the next, then we'll get the pulse of the market, then we'll add more. I mean, I would have probably done that, but my emotions got in the way also. I'm like, can I do this plenty work? Before you know it, everybody just got tired. But really.
So what in a scenario whereby the product you want to develop, it doesn't solve, your customers don't want it, but your stakeholders want to deploy this product just for profit basis. What do you do in that kind of scenario?
Again, okay. So again, your data would always help you. However, I've been in that situation where your stakeholder shall want it, let's push it to market, so that it's a very tricky situation, because that's the hippopotamus effect. They call it hippo effect because they are the highest earning individual in the room. So waiting one talk now.
Exactly. So do you now go ahead with it, or what do you do?
So it's a tricky one, really. So they may not know better, but it's your responsibility to help them see it better. To help them see that the market, this is what the market is saying. You can even do a sensitivity analysis for them to say, probably just throw a poll on Twitter or something. Just do a sense like, this is the pulse of the people for this product. Yes, we'll take it out, maybe because we have money, we can push it out. However, it will be a dead on arrival kind of product. Let them say it. If it comes to putting your blood on the table, by putting your blood on the table, I mean, give me 3 months. Let's do it this way. Let's do this alternative product.
Okay.
And you give them your business or a forecast sheet to say, month 1, this is what I forecast. Of course, you must be sound and you're sure that whatever you're putting on the table is going to work.
Exactly.
So that because you're literally putting your blood on the table to say, give me 3 months, I'll deliver this one this way and we can roll it to the market, we'll get this. If it doesn't work, trust me, I will run away. I will run by myself and start and pick up. Again, it's your blood on the table, but you just have to get your facts right. It's your blood on the table and that's usually the last resort.
Was that what you did when you were in that situation?
When I was in that situation, that wasn't what I did. That was why the product failed and that was why I left the project.
Oh, okay.
Right? So, I mean, and it was a distributed team. The people on my team were not even in Nigeria, but they were Nigerians not in Nigeria. So it was that, unlike if you and I are talking online, right, we'll just be doing back and forth. But if I say, guy, let's meet at this restaurant, let's talk this thing out. Maybe, maybe. But that wasn't what I did. And things just, at some point, everybody just started getting worn out of, oh, okay, we can't do this, we can't do that. Before you know it, you just died in a crowd.
We could go on and on and on, but let's wrap up with this final question. What is the best thing and the hardest thing about being a product manager?
What's the best
for you as a person?
Okay, the one that is the best thing is I feel good that I'm solving a problem. I'm making an impact. It just basically makes me feel. Basically makes me feel my name is on something. Well, maybe that's from the personal fulfillment kind of thing. So it makes me feel like, oh, we're solving a problem, a big problem. That's a personal fulfillment for me anyway. The worst thing for me again, this is not to scare anybody, but your mental health is very important. Being a product manager can wear you out. You could suffer from anxiety. There could be a lot of panic, maybe panic attacks or anxiety really, if you're not careful. I'm sure you would have seen memes online when they will say a product manager probably has 10 things he's thinking out. You're thinking of, how do you engage compliance? In one day, how do you do compliance? How do you talk to the developers? How do you attend to 20 meetings in your calendar? How do you finish documentation? How do you do this? How do you, before you know it, especially if one product is already in the market, problems will come, chaos will come. Hey, it's the product manager. When something is bad, it's product management, they quickly point to. So if you do not have a stable mental health on your own, you will consistently lose it and take it out on people. Oh no, you would take it out on people because you will be worn out at some point. So it is very important that for product, and I'm not sure I've seen people talk so much about this, but it is real. People get worn out. People are anxious for no reason because you have deadlines you've not met. People are asking you for documentation. At the same time, you just want some headspace to do some research because there's also a lot of thinking involved. Apart from the technical part of things, if you're an all-round product manager, apart from the technical part of things, if you ask me, the technical part of it is the most simple, it's the simplest. It's the thinking part of it and the strategy part of things to say, what product do I want to deliver? What way do I want to go? How do I want to make money? Or start doing your financial model, or you want to think of how do you want to go to market, or you want to think from a compliance perspective. Oh, so what does GDPR say about this thing? You have to read, and I hate that one. You have to be researching, and it's boring, but then it's enlightening. Yeah. So all of that, you want some headspace to yourself, but some people already put 10 meetings in your calendar. You have to engage these, engage operations, engage. So those are the parts that may not be so rosy. You just need a stable mental health to be able to be a product manager successfully. So those are the parts that I could say.
Final question. So, how do you unwind? How do you relax? When you're not working, what do you do? I mean, after all the stress of dealing with engineers, developers, designers, how do you unwind?
So I got a hack for myself like 4 months ago. Is it 4 months? Sometimes in July. I got a hack for myself, and if I tell you, you would laugh.
Please, I also
Okay, before I go to that hack, right? Of course, how do I unwind? I go to lounges, I take a drink or two, restaurants, I eat good food. I don't like cooking. Maybe I'm lazy, not like I don't like cooking. It's not enjoyable for me. So I eat out. So the other bit, that hack, if I tell you. So there's this. I think there's a psychology behind this particular one. So Netflix. But if you ask me what movie do I watch on Netflix
Don't say
in
Korean
the last 5
movie.
it's Korean movies.
How did I know?
It's Korean movies. I don't know. So my neighbor just said, So I realized that my neighbor is a lawyer. So I know that she's also always busy. But at night, there's no time I go to her apartment. She's on Korean movies. I'm always laughing at her. She says, Tayo, this is the only thing that makes me relax.
Wow.
That she will just put it on, then she's watching, then she dozes off. Then it relaxes her. And I'm like, this is weird. And then I also started. And I realized that I was, I feel relaxed. There's this way they tell their story, the story of love, very simple, sweet, and pure. And I'm a lover girl. So it relaxes me. Wow. So it's just funny.
I don't like Korean.
Maybe when you start one. So one thing that really pushed me, I started one, the very first one I watched. I love sci-fi movies, naturally. So the first one I watched was around sci-fi, robotics, and all of that. So I'm like, so Korean movies know how to, they know what a robot and all of that.
Please give your listeners recommendations. Those
movies
that love Korean movies, they want to hear
No, I'm not sure. Maybe me, I love the love part of
and there are some people like you, definitely.
I'm a lover girl. So I've watched I'm Not a Robot. I've watched Hometown to Cha-Cha. I've watched what's this one called? The Tale of the Nine-Tailed Fox. There is
titles though.
There's 39. I love that one. There's 39.
Wow.
It's about cancer. Okay.
Sorry.
Which other one haven't I? How come there's this recent one that really made me?
You don't have to mention it all, don't worry. Oh my god, it was I enjoyed this time together. Thank you. So I had fun. Thank you so much for coming on this episode today, Tayo.
Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed it. So don't forget to like, comment, and share with people in your network. And also don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you all in the next episode. Bye.